Hey guys, welcome back to Turntable Guy. On the table today we have a Luxman PD-210. This is a semi-automatic belt drive turntable. It's come in for a rush service. A gentleman has driven about 100 kilometers from a different city down to where I am to have this looked at, and he's going to wait for it. So we got to do this one in a bit of a rush here. He left me some notes here. It needs a general service. Check the stylus. And he says the auto return works, but only like a 1 in every 10 times. And it sometimes does not come back and hits the armrest. So that's kind of disconcerting because I don't like intermittent problems. And, you know, I'd like to get this thing fixed for him 100%, but sometimes auto return issues can be very difficult to trace down. A lot of times it's adjustment and or, you know, parts that have broken just from being forced or whatever, gears and so forth. So we'll have a peek at it, obviously, and see what's going on with it. This thing's got a Luxman stylus and cartridge on it. I think it's an MC or a high output MC because there doesn't seem to be a detachable stylus. So we're going to be very careful with that because, as you know, you cannot replace styli on MC cartridges, and definitely don't want to damage that. So let's get going on this one. This is our first Luxman. From what I've been reading online, this is probably manufactured by CEC as well. It looks like probably a very late 70s, early 80s design. As far as features, there's not a whole lot with it. It's very plasticky. It's like pretty much 100% plastic, so it's nothing special. But we'll get it fixed up, and hopefully it sounds good. Give it a quick listening test. Let's get going on it. All right. So first thing we want to do is we just want to check operation here and see what the gentleman's saying is actually happening. I'm just going to plug it in. I'm going to leave the lid on. Okay, there's our arm. Queuing. I think I might have taken the belt off. I did take the belt off. I'll just wrap that around there. It looks like it's got an AC motor in it, which is kind of rare for this age of turntable, I think. There we go. Oh, so it's auto returning. He says 1 in every 10 times. Let's see. It's 2 for 2. Let's try one more time. I'm going to drop the queuing this time just to see if it lifts on its own. It's lifting. It's returning. And yeah, I can see what he's saying here. It didn't go all the way that time. But that could just be this rubber piece here on the arm lifter. Might be a little bit gummy. So anyway, let's tear it apart. It needs a general service anyway, so we'll have a peek inside and see what's going on. I'm going to remove the head shell, like I said. And there's the cartridge. This is L on it, Luxman. I have no idea if Luxman, what is this thing? Luxman 310C. C for conical, perhaps? Never seen one of these. So let's put that for safekeeping over there. I think I took the belt off because when I was with the gentleman, I just wanted to have a look and feel the motor on it, and I couldn't get this platter off. So I think I did hit it with a hammer. Yeah, I did. So let's not a hammer, but the back end of a screwdriver. Let's see if we can get this off. Hopefully you don't have to heat it. Oh, nope. There it goes. All right. Belt's in good shape. It's hanging on to the platter here, so we know the belt is really good. We'll probably still give that a cleaning though. All right, so we'll take off our counterweight. Okay. looks like our bearing is accessible from the top. I still want to have a look underneath though, so let's get a peek. And I'm looking at those screws here, and those are screaming CEC. Let's see. No, they're not. These are plastic screws. The CEC screws I'm talking about are those very familiar looking wood screws that they used in a lot of the Hitachi decks and Yamahas and stuff like that. I mentioned I really enjoy my new cordless screwdriver. It almost makes me want to, film taking the screws out of the bottom. Don't worry, I won't do that. We will this time because I'm halfway done. So underneath here, nothing special, just your typical El Cheapo cardboard base. Very, looks like inexpensive feet. The rubber's kind of thick on them, not really cheap, but nothing special either. I wonder if they're screwed right into the, they are. I'm going to have to take those off. I need a screwdriver for that, long screwdriver, because they go quite deep. Yep, all the way down. Which is good as well, because the actual, it's not like the table's being supported only by the feet through this cardboard. It's actually going right into the base or plinth of the turntable. So that's good. It's actually isolated from this piece of cardboard. We have a, I can see it right here. There is a hole here. And I will bet tons of money that that's your auto return adjustment right there. Because you can't adjust speed on these things, so what else could it possibly be? All right, here we go. Yep, that's your auto return adjustment right there. Boy, this thing looks familiar to something I just did. There's almost nothing to it. All right. How's that for a view? Pretty good. Here's our motor. We're going to service our motor. I don't see anything really wrong here. Like the gearing looks normal. The grease looks good. It's all very pliable grease. We'll pull off this shield here just because I'm wondering if this is one of those turntables where the tone arm post activates the switch through a piece of plastic, and sometimes those crack. So why don't we have a look and see what we got under here. So this is another ground. Ground's our shield. Just pull off our shield here. And yeah, I was right. This is cracked. Unbelievable. Another case of a broken post. Such a poor design. I hate this. I really don't want to have to desolder all this again. Okay. So let's zoom in there. Okay. So here's our, didn't we just do one of these? Was it the Toshiba? Yes. Same thing. Okay. So here's your actuator right here. This is attached, this is the tone arm right here. And as the tone arm moves, it should move this post out. Okay. And activate the switch, turn on your motor. Okay. So what's happened here? This screw is loose. It's no longer touching the post of the tone arm because the plastic has cracked. So in order to fix this, you have to take this off, glue it, and repair it. Now, can we do that without having to desolder these tone arm wires? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we are certainly going to try. And these tone arm wires are just going through these two pegs here. They're glued in a little bit, so I'm just going to work those out. Just with my fingers. Don't want to damage the tone arm wires. See if I can get these out. There we go. Okay, so that's out. So we can at least get this piece out. And here's our anti-skating spring. Probably, I'm gonna try to leave everything in place. So this is the home position, but as you can see, it's not attached to the tone arm. If I reach underneath, grab the tone arm, and dislodge it. Okay, I need one more arm. There we go. See, the tone arm is moving, but it's not. See, it's moving all the way, and it's barely moving that white piece, that actuator. So, okay, that's the problem with this one. We've got another broken piece of plastic. Can you see the crack there? So, got a couple options here. We definitely need to loosen this screw here, take the pressure off of it, get some glue in there, and clamp it. Okay. So, let's get ourselves the correct Allen key here. It's unfortunately an Allen key. And see if we can loosen that. There we go. Just loosen it enough. Like I said, we're going to try and repair this one in place. Yeah, totally cracked. You guys can see that, right? Oh, did it crack a little more? It did crack a little more. All right. Well, I am going to do my best to get glue in there and get a couple clamps on there. That's all we can do. I'm just going to use some crazy glue. How's your view? It's good, right? Okay. Hopefully it's in focus. Just a little bit of glue. That's all you need. And like I said in on that Toshiba video, if it's cracked so poorly that you can't even like fix it, what you can do is just glue this piece to the tone arm altogether. Put it in the right place and glue it where it belongs. That's the home position. It's right there. Our tone arm is in the rest, which is perfect. We're going to get some glue on there and clamp. And then maybe while that's going, we'll service the bearings in the motor. Okay, good. Definitely got lots of glue. Whoops. It's sloppy now. All right. Okay, so now let's clamp this puppy. Some small clamps for this one. Shouldn't take too long to dry. Put one on this side here. Let's do that. Put it on the main part. And see if we can get another one here. Over here, kind of. There. Clamped. Okay, so we got to wait for that to dry. And hopefully by the time he gets it home, it will have cured enough. So while we're at it, let's zoom back out while that's drying. There you go. And let's service our motor. Remember, this is a rush repair, so we're going to rush through it a little bit. It's not saying I'm going to do a shitty job or anything, but I'm just saying that we're going to do this in a bit of a rush. Now, our motors, remember our wires are facing here. So it's just standard AC kind of motor. Oh, it's very nicely lubricated already. But we're here to do a service. We're going to service these bearings. It's actually a very nice motor, which kind of makes you wonder, like I don't know if this is a CEC or not. It could very well be. I'm sure that they made turntables for, like I mentioned, everybody. Let's add Luxman to that list. But I'm sure you could ask for what kind of motor you wanted. Like if your Luxman was considered a little bit of a higher quality brand at the time, right? So they may have asked for a higher quality motor, right? There's our lower bearing. There's probably nothing left in there. So you know the drill. We are going to get some electric motor oil. And we're going to put some inside. Just like that. And we're going to put our bearing back down. Just like that. And 4 screws. They were not on very tight. So I'm not going to crank them. Just do up all 4. And just snug them up. Okay, your bearing is spin, it looks good. Now our top, grab your oiling. We're going to put a little bit of drop of oil right here on the top bearing. Just like that. This motor serviced. Look how nicely it's spinning. Okay, now this goes back in this position. The wirings were in that position. And we got our 4 retaining screws here. The rubber bushings are in good shape. Oops. There's our motor. Okay, main bearing. We have a small screw on this side here. Looks like a Phillips. Take that out. There you coming. It's turning, but it's not coming out. That's weird. Definitely retaining it. The bearing feels okay. Oh, there it comes. A little bit. I think it's coming. Yeah, now it's coming. Just gotta keep some pressure on the screw. Not easy. But I am not going to cut, you know, the recording here. I want to keep it going just to show you how long it takes to do. See, it went back in. The threads are probably... Okay, so one thing you can do is you can get a pair of pliers like that, or a pair of cutters, and just kind of cut around the head of the screw and unscrew it at the same time, and there it comes. It's totally stripped. Actually, does this have any threads on it? Okay, so I'm spinning a screw with no threads. It's a plug. Oh, good. All right, so that's new. Let's just put it here. All right, let's grab our bearing. Actually, we're going to have to turn our table over, so we have to, actually, that's going to be really difficult with our clamp there. Is it even coming out? It doesn't want to come out anyway. Is there another screw? Huh. Well, this is new. Very odd. Okay, I'm going to pull the bearing out altogether. I know it's hard to see, but I'm just going to unscrew it from the top. So I really don't want to move those clamps over there. So I just want to get the bearing out altogether. All right, here it is. You see that? I cannot tell you why, unless something is broken off in here, why this is not coming out. That screw is the retaining screw. I don't really know why. I don't know if there's anything in here or what. Is there something you got to press down on as I turn it? Don't see anything in there. All right. Well, I'm not sure exactly what to say on this one, so I'm going to give it a little bit of oil. And just put a little bit here at the top. And it doesn't feel bad at all. It feels very good, actually. So I'm just going to put some fresh oil in there, and then we'll put this plug back in. Like I said, I've never seen this before. So there. It's back in. It's lubricated as best as I can do it. So okay, so we'll put this back in when we turn the turntable back over. I think that's it for lubrication points. Like I mentioned, this grease is good. Everything else is working okay. So it's just a matter of this drying over here. So maybe we will pause, because I'm not going to let this video keep going like this. And then we'll get her all back together. We'll do that together, okay? I'm going to pause. I'll let you know how much time it was, okay? Hey, welcome back. Okay, what we're going to do here, I've taken the clamps off. It's curing nicely. Like I mentioned before, the main attachment point here is this Allen screw, and it goes through a washer and puts pressure on the bottom of the tone arm. Now, when you tighten this, what's going to eventually happen is it's going to push out on that plastic, right? And that's going to cause it to crack again. So we don't want that happening. This is an old turntable. The chances of this tone arm coming out are next to 0. What I am going to do is, this is now in the home position. I'm going to put a couple drops of glue, and I am going to glue this plastic to the tone arm, okay? It will not be, you know, impossible to remove at some point. It's just crazy glue. You can definitely loosen it. So I am going to do that, and I have no idea where I put my glue. But I do have some new gel type glue. Oh no, here it is. We'll just use this. I'm just going to put a drop, like very little, just enough to fasten it. And I will actually tighten the screw just to the point where it touches the tone arm base, right? That way, you know, it's not loose. But I am going to get in here, and I'm going to put a tiny drop of glue just where the plastic meets the It looks like it's like brass. Like that. And that's it. Okay. So now there's an attachment point there. And we can get our Allen key here and tighten that screw just a little bit again. And I'm going to tighten it, like I said, right to the point where it's just touching the post. We do not want it to put any pressure. They're the wrong size. We don't want it to put any pressure on the on this plastic, right? We don't want it to crack again. Right there. That's it. No more pressure than that. And what I'll also do is I'm going to get a little bit more glue and put it on the end of a screwdriver. And we're going to touch where that screw touches the tone arm. So just a little bit of glue. And we're just going to go in here and just put it right there. And that is it. That's not moving. It will definitely dry up in no time. So we'll just leave that alone for now. We'll start putting our table back together. First thing we want to do, so this is all good here. I don't want to touch that. We're going to put our shield back on here and our tone arm wire board. Just put that back in there. And 3 screws for that, I think it was. Yes. And that just went down like that. All right, now let's grab our grounding screw, put that through the shield. And there you have it. We're all done underneath here. Everything else looks good. All right. I'm not going to play with the adjustment yet. We'll test it first. So let me get these screws back on. I'll be right back. Feet and the base are back on. We're just going to put our main spindle and bearing back in. Very simple to do on this one. And you just fasten it with the 3 screws. There we go. You can see when I push the reject button how this mechanism will come over. And it's far away enough that it's not touching during normal play. And the bearing does feel really good. I put a couple drops of just electronic motor oil in there. Something very, not too thick, right? Because I couldn't completely remove it. So, but it feels good. It feels really good. All right, so what we're going to do now, we'll do a little belt and platter maintenance. And we're going to get some isopropyl alcohol. And just a paper towel. And we're just cleaning off all the grease, whatever dirt and dust is on the belt here. Just run it through a paper towel with alcohol, and then we'll have a look at it, see which side is in better shape. It's still very elastic. Just removes a little bit of gunk. Very nice and elastic. This is obviously the side that was towards the motor. So we'll flip it and we'll put this side towards the motor. Okay. While you have that out, one more alcohol. Clean where the belt rides. It's a very, very lightweight platter. Very ringy. This is not a high-end deck by any means. So don't let the Luxman name fool you on this one. That's what came off of there. And the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to clean our motor pulley. So to do that, we're going to plug it in, get a little alcohol, get on a Q-tip, just release your arm, and the motor starts to spin. And we're just going to clean up and down here and get any belt residue off of there. As you can see, there's a little bit of belt residue coming off. Always good to get that off. So clean that pulley real nice. Do the 45 end and the 33 side. So there's actually two pulleys in one here. Lower part is the 45, upper is the 33. Get that all nice and clean. And as you can see, there was quite a bit of belt residue on there. And let's put our arm back. I don't want to force anything there yet. It is dry, but it's not cured. So as you can see, this side of the belt is a little shinier, and you can see where it's running against the motor. It's got some marks in there, whereas this side is pretty much untouched. So this is, we're going to flip this and run this side against the motor. Okay, put our platter back on. Wrap your belt around your motor. And let's see. There we go. Very nice. Check our auto return. Might need to reset it here. So it runs once. Try that again. And there we go. I hear it going. Very nice. Remember, you always got to reset it after you service it. Nice. All fixy. Okay. So we're going to let that rest. The glue. I want to make sure it's 100% stuck. So, what else? I think that's about it, really. Let's start putting some of our stuff back here. We'll balance up the arm, obviously. I think I'd like to find out a little bit more information about this this Luxman. Let's go on the net here and see what it says. So we got a Luxman. And what is it called? 310C. All right, Luxman. Didn't say anything about it. 310C cartridge. Oh, here it is. Luxman and stylus. Maybe it is removable. Doesn't. Oh, wait, it is. Look at that. Ooh. This is very strange. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. I haven't. This has got to be a weird moving coil type situation. Let's get some more information on this thing. Weird. Look at that, eh? Huh. Luxman 310C, original stylus. $111, 111 euros. Not a lot of information on the cartridge, though. Huh, interesting. Well, we're going to give this a cleaning. And just a dab of alcohol, too. I'm just going to use a little bit of 70% to clean the stylus. And all you want to do is gently clean that off. Like I said, I don't know if this is a moving magnet or a moving coil. He said he's been using it with a moving magnet setting on his amplifier or his preamp. So I have no idea. I know moving coils, you cannot replace a stylus. So okay. Anyway, I don't even know what the tracking force for this is. Ooh, I think I dropped the screw. I did. When he came in, he had it set at 2, so that's where it's going back. Anti-skating was set at 2. I haven't touched that, so let's put it back at 2. And I'm just going to do it electronically here. What I've been doing for customers now is I've been taking photographs of their needles under my microscope camera, and I've been giving it to them. Just something I do. That way they have an idea how their needle's doing. This is a very lightweight arm. Good enough. All right, so 2 grams there. Let's do a quick sound test. Hook up our cabling. Sure there's no hum. Okay, we have no hum. We have sound in both channels. And here we go. It works. Let's check our auto return. All right, let's see. Come on, baby, lift. Very nice. That's it. All done. I'm still going to let this glue dry up. I don't want to put it under too much stress. I want to make sure it's good and solid before we give it back to the guy. I got to give him a call so he can come pick it up and head back home. So anyway, there you go. Luxman PD-210 with supposedly bad auto return. Again, it had nothing to do with the auto return mechanism. It was the plastic motor actuator at the bottom of the tone arm. Once again, has cracked. That is a very common issue. If this is a CEC turntable, then it's something that has to do with them, okay, and design. Nothing worse than putting a metal screw through a piece of plastic and then applying an outward pressure on it. It's going to crack. That's what they all do. So anyway, hope you learned something on this one. Thanks for tuning in again, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.